So I use the My School Day app for your club, sports team, committee, or department. The app has a great tool called the channel tool, and it allows students to subscribe to channels, specific channels that are of interest to them. They can search for channels and subscribe to the ones that they'd like. They can also unsubscribe when it's not relevant to them anymore. So here's a bunch of possible announcements that could exist or could come up. So, for example, we have a cross-country meet that's scheduled, an Eco Club trip, an Out of the Cold chaplaincy event, congratulations to the senior football team, and a trip run by the English department for Shakespeare in the Park. All of these announcements would normally, and more I'm sure, would normally be listened to on a PA system. Now, to reach students and to reach their particular interests, what this app does is it allows you to create channels. You can have an Eco Club channel, a cross country, a chaplaincy, senior football, or an English department channel, many more. So these channels will then allow these announcements to be put into the app by the teacher running that specific club, team, or committee. So they'll all be put into the app and they'll be sorted by channel so that when a student subscribes to whatever particular channels are of interest to them, what they'll be able to do is say, well, I just want to hear all of the chaplaincy channels. And I want to hear only the Eco Club channels. So these two clubs really interest me, the rest I don't want. So when the student looks in their My School Day app, they'll only receive these channel notifications, announcements, calendar events, and so on.
Welcome. To sign into the My School Day web portal, you'll need your board email and assigned password. This information will be provided for you, and I will also post a link to the website in this video. But first, I'm going to go over what channels are. So channels allow announcements to be grouped by category based on club, sports team, school committee, department. So what is great is that students can subscribe to the channels that interest them. So they have a stream of announcements tailored to their specific interests. So to create a channel, you go to the channels page link on the left here, and you see some open fields. So type the name of your channel. I'm going to write sample channel. And here we have a few options now. You can assign this channel to a certain category, and in the future these fields will be updated with lists of categories. If you select hidden, that's usually just for teacher-only channels, so students can't search for these channels and subscribe to them. And some other information you have is listed here, so some open fields where you can fill in a Twitter account, for example, an Instagram, a phone number, some contact information if it's related to a course or teacher, so those sorts of things. They are all optional, of course. You can set your channels to expire or not, so it's defaulted to not expire, but we can unclick this and select a date where this channel then is expired and gets erased. Okay, so keep that in mind. Once you're done with all this information, you can go down and you can click on Save New Channels. I should say that the ability to create channels and channel categories will be limited to those with administrator access. Notifications are announcements that can be attached to a specific channel. So think of this as your traditional PA announcement, except students don't need to listen to lengthy announcements when only 1 or 2 points might be relevant to them. So that's where posting an announcement and attaching that to a channel is important, since a student might be subscribed to that particular channel. So let's see how that works. In your home page, where we are right now, you can see instant access to a notification field where you can send this announcement notification out. To see the full control, we're going to click on the left-hand side here where it says Notifications. So type your message in your field. Let's say meeting tomorrow is postponed. Okay, you can select whatever channel it's relevant to. Of course, there isn't much here right now, but there will be. And here you have options. So you can send this announcement out immediately. You can save it for later. You can assign a certain time and day to send it, right? Time and day. You can set it as a recurring announcement. So to remind students that you have a recurring meeting on a certain day or time. You can also attach links. So this button here gives you the ability to attach a URL to your announcement if that's relevant. Okay, and that's important, it can be, because you have a limited number of characters. 470 is what I have left of 500 in this particular announcement. Right, so the other thing you can do is you can attach an attachment, and various file formats are accepted here. So once you're done with all of this, all you do is click on schedule notification. Now it says that because it says later. If I click on send immediately, it'll update that, it'll change it to send notification. And you're all set. Student resources are file attachments that may be relevant to your club, team, or committee, perhaps a letter to parents, graduation requirements from guidance, or a file to be shared among students in a club or a team. So to start, you can click on Student Resources here to the left to open up that page, and you can choose whatever file you'd like to attach. Right here, give it a different title if you wish, and select the relevant channel. You can do the same thing for a particular link. You can paste your link here and give it a title, and you can click on Add Link to attach it to that channel that you selected. So news posts can be accessed by clicking on News, and they're like announcements except they aren't defaulted to have push notifications, but they allow for longer messages and extra formatting. So you can attach a message as a news post to a certain channel by clicking on this drop-down menu, and again, this will be populated later. You have a 10,000 character limit, so much more than your 500 in your announcements. And you have options of attaching a header as an image, so you can select a file here. You can attach attachments, different file types, and links as well. Once you are finished with your announcement, you can preview it and click on Submit to send it out to whatever channel you've selected. There is an option here to send this as a push notification, but it does give you a pretty good tip to just be cautious about that. A calendar event allows you to assign a date to a certain event under the respective channel. So to access this, click on the calendar page here to the left, right? And here's where you can put in the necessary information to attach an event to a certain date. So you can change that to whatever date suits you. So let's say the 25th of November, and we'll say Eco Club event, just as an example. You can set a particular time here. Details of that event can be posted here, end time, location, any notes. You can have a file attachment attached here, and if it repeats or not. So you have options there. And once you are finished, you can send a push notification. It gives you that option if you'd like. Again, they give you a good tip here. And you click on Save Changes and you're all set. Something good to mention too is that any student that is attached or subscribed to the channel that you send this calendar event to can attach these calendar events to their iCal, Google Calendar, or Outlook calendars as well. So they get a personalized calendar with all the events that they're subscribed to.